What's up, everyone? This is Ben from Semantee AI, and in this video, we're going to showcase a system that helps our clients navigate very complex domain knowledge. In this particular example, we'll dive into the world of psychodiagnostics. Specifically, we'll be dealing with an instrument called HEXACO, developed by Michael Ashton and Kibiam Lee, which structures human personality into 6 major dimensions. It's probably one of the most studied and well-founded concepts in the field of personality studies, and you basically answer a set of 100 or 200 questions, and at the end you'll receive a fairly detailed report of how you score on each major scale and each subscale, as well as what implications these scores have. Now, in order to make sense of all this and to effectively use it in practice, you have to go through fairly rigorous training, read the entire manual, as well as the personality report, and then somehow make sense of all of that. In the context of, for example, recruitment, it would be probably a little bit too time intensive. So this is why we developed an AI guide which helps clients navigate all of this material, get tips on behavioral questions, and understand how to interpret the results, and most importantly, how to compare candidates. So without further ado, let's just see what all of this looks like. Okay, so let's dive into this system interface. You can see on the left side, there's always the HEXACO profile, and on the right-hand side is where the magic happens. We have a few sample profiles in case you want to just mess around, but typically you will start off by dropping a PDF file with the HEXACO profile into this system, which is exactly what I'm going to do here. And then you're just going to hit Start HEXACO AI. And the first thing you'll see immediately is a quick summary. This particular summary can be customized, so if you have a set of attributes that you're always looking to analyze in a candidate, you can customize this here, and on the left side you can see all of the different HEXACO scales, including the subscales. So obviously there are 6 major scales for HEXACO. And here's a quick summary. As I said, the major sort of attributes that a particular person exhibits, and then on the bottom side, you have all kinds of follow-up questions. These are pre-populated, but you can obviously ask any question you want. So let's start off just with a simple example. What are the advantages and risks for the position business analyst? So we're assuming this person is being recruited for the position of business analyst, and the system will zoom in on what a business analyst typically would require, and they're going to list some of the advantages such as extroversion, agreeableness, emotionality, but also point out some of the risks, like a very low honesty score, and so on. So they're going to give you a very specific, highly customized analysis to this position for this profile. It's not at all a generic ChatGPT answer. Then you can also get some hints on how to further interview this question. So for example, you can ask, how can I behaviorally verify strengths and inquire about risk during this interview? And again, you will get very specific tips. How to ask, for example, sample questions with regards to certain scales or general sort of interview tips. How to ask behavioral questions, whether to use the STAR method, what types of follow-up questions you want to ask. So it's a very specific system, like I said. One thing that's interesting, obviously, if you ask a totally unrelated question, such as, will it rain tomorrow? You will not get an answer to that question because this system is instructed only to talk about HEXACO. So I'm just demonstrating here, you can't really trick it into talking about random other stuff. Another very interesting feature here is if you have another candidate for this position, in this case Eva, you can paste their HEXACO profile and then compare the 2 candidates between each other as it pertains to this exact position. And the system will then analyze their profiles and tell you which traits are, for example, useful in this position and what sort of risks there are associated with each person. It will basically compare them. So that's a very, very useful tool. It'll tell you the exact strengths for each candidate, and you can then make a more informed decision. But one thing this system will not do is make the decision for you. This is a really crucial feature of our system here. It will not tell you who to hire. If you ask this question, like I am doing here, it is instructed to say, I'm just an advisor. I'm only going to coach you on making better decisions, but I will not choose the right candidate for you. Very, very important aspect of this particular UI. Now let's also think about, for example, if you have a particular attribute in mind which you want to ask about, such as who is more likely to seek a promotion, you can ask this question and the system will then compare the HEXACO profiles and make an informed decision about who is more likely to seek a promotion just based on their personality traits. So for example, here it will analyze candidate 1 has a fairly high extroversion rate, and that is typically a trait associated with a higher likelihood of seeking a promotion. Now, the beautiful part about this is that our interface is actually very universal. You don't have to use HEXACO. It actually works with any well-documented personality diagnostics tool, such as Hofstede, Hogan, the Big Five, MBTI, or any other tool. In addition, you don't actually have to be an expert at this. You do have to go through some basic training, but then you're equipped with a powerful psychodiagnostic instrument and you can essentially ask any follow-up question. What's important to mention is that not only can you assess an individual profile, you can also compare two candidates or even assess an entire team's dynamic. Finally, one thing I'd like to say is that it's not the same as putting this stuff into ChatGPT. This system is very personalized, it's completely closed off, and the answers are not generic. They're very specific and they are only sourced from the materials that we provided into the system. And that's it for this video. I really hope you liked it. If you have any questions or you just like to find out more, please don't hesitate to get in touch, either with us at Semantee or with our partners over at QED Group, who are the guarantors for the actual content of what the system provides. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you at the next one.